It's the sixth time that the Mavericks have trailed a series 2-0 over the last decade and a half. If history is an indicator, they're fine. They've won 4 of the previous 5 and have 3 series wins all time when down 2-0, which is tied for the most in NBA history. Now, I was giving White the credit for the block all the time. Brown definitely got it as well. Jason Kidd wants to know, was there a foul on that?
All right, questions for Coach. We'll start here with Mike in the front.
Mike Curtis, Dallas Morning News. Jason, what was your interpretation of the fast break with PJ that led to the block by Derek White there at the end?
My interpretation, it looked like a foul, but it wasn't called, so it wasn't a foul.
That's a pretty black and white assessment of things. Right. They didn't call it, so it wasn't a foul. I kept saying in the highlight over and over again, I thought it was clean because I was looking at the ball.
Right.
Was there a hand? But
oh yeah, no question. There was a hand right into his back. That if that was a type of play that had been able to be reviewed at that time, that's going to be called a foul because there was absolute contact on the part of Jaylen Brown right in the middle of P.J. Washington's back prior to going up and blocking it, and you really didn't see it until they showed the slow motion replay from a different angle when you could really see that hand get into his back.
Okay, well then that's on me. I'm giving all the credit for the clean block up top, but that left hand, you certainly see that there. As far as the issues that Dallas has had in totality, if there's been a consistent issue that they've faced in these 2 games, what do you got for us?
Can't keep the ball in front of them, and when they get broken down off the dribble, I just think they go into chaotic mode on the weak side. They're not really disciplined in the rotations. Here's an example of what I'm talking about, and we've seen this quite a bit. And actually, the initial defense by Luka isn't bad. You're trying to keep the ball in the middle. Does a pretty good job of cutting Jaylen Brown off. But when he spins out and gets down in here, that's when you're going to start to have some problems now on the weak side with these 3 guys. You get into the paint, stop right here. Take a look at Josh Green. I don't know when you should ever be on the weak side of the floor and just completely turn your back to the 2 players that are on that side because he has first pass. You're on that side of the court. There are 2 players over there. You're going to have to take first pass wherever it comes out. And you're going to see in a second what's going to happen. He goes, but so does P.J. Washington. He's also going to go on this kick out. So it's an undisciplined rotation all caused by getting broken down off the dribble. So when both guys go, there's one more swing. Great read here by Tatum. He sees Lucas coming out really hard and high. So here's another undisciplined play, Scott. You put it back down here for Tatum. If you're Kyrie Irving, you can't come off the strong side corner. It's not your responsibility to stop this penetration. You've got to stay with the shooter. That's why you've got a shot blocker on the floor. He's coming, and then you'll get a sink down here. That's what the rotation should look like. Instead, you're going to see Kyrie. He sells out to the drive, and you end up with a wide-open 3. And this is Boston didn't shoot well for the 3, so you give them a wide-open look in that situation. Just can't do it. One more example here. You get the switch, and again, surprise, again, beaten off the dribble. So now you're going to get rotation on the weak side. Look at the weak side defenders, both again staring at the ball. They're not really in tune with who's on the weak side of the floor. They do a decent job on the first 2 closeouts. The problem is against Boston, you're probably going to need a third. And you can see Daniel Gafford's relaxing right here. He needs to be in dead sprint now before that basketball gets passed. It comes to Tatum here. His first made 3 of the game, only made 3 of the game right there out of Jason Tatum. 2 clean looks. Now, one other thing about those 2 possessions, none of Dallas's possessions look like that. Where it's in the paint, out, around the horn, somebody toes up a wide open look. It feels like every pass that Luka makes is deeper into the clock, or it's a pass because he's gotten 2 guys. He's expecting that shot to happen right now off 1 pass. So someone's either going to take a 3 or he's going to hit a big guy rolling to the rim. Boston, even though they didn't shoot well tonight, they're still making the pass that's supposed to be made to the next guy and trusting it. It always gets back to your point about the balance and the trust of the number of guys that can shoot on this team and score. That's a typical Boston possession, what I've seen through 2 games. Dallas has very few possessions that look that way.
Well, and the luxury of the depth of scoring options that Boston's got, it just shows itself again, and it has all year long.
NBA,